going to keep it kind of short today, but there was a few things I wanted to kind of spotlight. I'm sure a lot of our regulars, you guys know about our pet boutique here in the shelter. Our pet boutique is very, very important for us. All of the money that gets made here in this boutique comes right back to the shelter, regardless of what you're buying. Could be a t-shirt with a graphic on it for you, could be toys, treats, litter boxes, any and everything that you get in this boutique comes right back to our animals here. Helps us cover the cost of medicating, feeding, treating all the animals that come in through our doors. And we get a lot that come in, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware. We offer all sorts of items, be it toys, if you need new bowls, or if you just wanted decorative items. We even have costumes for your pets too, so there's a lot of range on what you can really get here in the store. Catnip for all of our cat enthusiasts out there. If you think your collar, your harness is running a little loose or too tight, we have all that stuff here. Myself personally, I'm a big advocate for the sensation harnesses. I have one on my dog. I have a 50-pound pit bull and gives me great control of her. You don't want anything that's going to put too much strain on your dog's esophagus area, so always big advocates for harnesses. Gives you better control, and it's better for the dog in the long run. I like these a lot personally myself. If you're a fan of the crossbody bags, we just got a bunch of these new ones in. So please come on in and take a look. All that money will come right back to the animals here in the shelter. So now that you've familiarized yourself with our store, let's jump into the animals. I wanted to cover a couple of our cats here today before we jump into our outside yard for our surprises. So the first one I wanted to spotlight here is our friend Skunky. As you can see, Skunky is enjoying a nice little siesta nap early in the day. He's happy to see us coming, of course. He's turning on his charm for the camera. Little Skunky here is 3 years old and weighs in at about 16.5 pounds. So pretty decent sized cat here. He came into our shelter on the 29th of last month. Unfortunately, it was an owner surrender. They stated they had an issue with their landlord and they had to bring him into us as they really didn't have much of a choice. He does have a waiver for bladder stones. You know, we see all sorts of medical cases here at the shelter, and we'll put whatever resources and effort that we can into helping all of these animals. They sent off some of those bladder stones for analysis. What our vets suggest is, I'm sure a lot of you have seen like either Hills or Royal Canin. They offer what's called the urinary care food that'll kind of help with your cat's processing and making sure that if there was any bladder stones or anything, it'll kind of be a preventative for that in the long run, especially as Skunky here gets older. Our vets also do suggest a little bit of weight loss. I wouldn't say he's really like too overweight, but he could definitely benefit from, I'd say, 3 to 4 pounds of weight loss, as I could myself, you know. So he is very affectionate. He is a lap kitty for sure. He loves interactive play. We're not going to disturb him during his siesta, but I can tell you the staff here all knows that you could pop a squat right there on the carpet and he'll be all over you. He's a big fan of feather toys. He loves chin rubs, because how could you not? And he is very vocal for food. He will let you know when feeding time is. You don't have to worry about remembering yourself, because he will let you know. And if we just turn around here real quick, you guys will see our shelter is always packed. We'll have a couple of days where if we had a busy weekend and a lot of adoptions, we may look relatively empty, but in the shelter world, it's constant in and out. So right now there's a few open kennels, but we still have plenty of cats, plenty of kittens. We've actually had a large amount of rabbits that came in recently, and we saw quite a few adopted. In the last week alone, I want to say we've adopted out 6 to 7 rabbits, which, I mean, that's amazing. It's very good. You know, sometimes we'll see the rabbits will tend to sit here a little longer, unfortunately. But we've seen a lot of rabbit adoptions. We've had a lot of kittens. As you guys know, during the summer is kitten season, so we're getting a lot of kittens that come in. Should be kind of winding down on kitten season, but as you can see, these little rambunctious guys going at it. They are here and available for adoption. We have Chipmunk, Squirrel, Chance, and Lilo. One fun thing I do want to kind of point out, Squirrel, he earned his name because he kind of likes to climb up on your back and shoulder area and perch himself on you. So they named him Squirrel for that very reason. All of the kittens here at the Humane Society, we would classify them as any cat 5 months and under. Their adoption fee is $125, but that fee covers everything that we've done for them. So that's going to be the spay neuter, That's going to be your microchip. That's going to be your dewormer. That's going to be your monthly preventatives. So all that money really is just used to keep the animals good and get them out spayed and neutered, as is our overall mission. So if you're interested in a kitten or an adult cat, please come in. We will always have at least one of those. For the adult cats, we do offer a BOGO. It's kind of a little extra incentive to get the older ones out of here sooner, especially if we have two cats that know each other or are in the same room together that we know get along well. As long as those cats are 6 months and up, those two cats will go home with a buy one, get one special. So take advantage. If you're looking for a new four-legged feline friend, come on in. We're open every day of the week, weekends included. Adoptions opens at 11 a.m. And depending on how busy it is, we can close anywhere between 5 p.m. and 5:15. But now I'd like to take you guys to our yard and let's see who we have waiting for us outside. Oh yeah. So this lady here may be a familiar face to some if you're active on our Facebook feed that has been making its rounds on social media. We have actually currently been flooded with out-of-state interest for Nibbles. The out-of-state adoptions can be a little complicated. There's a lot of variables to take into account. Some people will already have other pets at home without us being able to protect the property. That can make it a little challenging. Some people prefer to fly the animals. Not all of our animals are suitable candidates for flying. In fact, I would probably say most of them. We do offer the out-of-state adoptions. If you just head to our website, it's humanebroward.com. You will see the out-of-state adoption application. It'll kind of briefly go over everything that is entailed. So if you are interested in hiring like a third-party transport service to drive the dog to you, there are a few companies out there that will offer that service. You would just submit your application, and please be patient with us. We've gotten a ton for Nibbles, so we're currently still working through all of those applications. We have someone in California who I spoke to this morning. She seems to be very, very interested, but we'll wait to see how that plays out. A little more background on Nibbles. Come here, what's in here? So Nibbles herself is 5 years old. She clocks in at about 48 pounds, 48.2, if you want to get real specific with it. She initially came into us from a shelter in Georgia, but that was back in 2022. When she came into us, she was heartworm positive. She wasn't in great shape. You know, we helped treat the heartworm. We got her back on track, and she was adopted. Unfortunately, kind of due to a series of unfortunate events in the family, they ended up having to bring Nibbles back to us. That was just last month on the 23rd. She did live with another dog. Outside. She did live with another dog, and she lived with cats as well. According to the previous owner, they said she did great with all of them. We still, always will recommend a dog meet, but when they have a profile like that, it's always a good indicator to us, at least somewhat, to see how the dog will do.
Nibbles.
She loves kisses, likes to lay in bed, loves to snuggle. Keep in mind it is very hot out here in sunny South Florida. So the dogs, they know where the air conditioning is at. They know exactly where they want to be. They'll come out here to use the restroom, but then they're kind of nudging at us like, okay, I'm ready to go back inside. The previous owners told us she loves to run around outside and play. She knows sit. She walks well on the leash. I mean, she's just a super sweet dog. Whether she goes out of state or in state, she's going to find a great home. She already knows some commands. It's not like this is going to be a big project dog where you got to teach her a lot of stuff. The previous family told us she's also housebroken. We always like to take that with a grain of salt because you never know, but from what we've seen here at the shelter, she hasn't shown any signs of that not being accurate. So again, this is Nibbles, 5 years old. If you think Nibbles would be a good fit for you and your family, please head on down to the Kittens in Broward. We are located at 2070 Griffin Road. And again, her name is Nibbles. We'll have those pre-adoption applications if you do have them. All right, Nibbles, let's see what we have coming out now.
She's ready. See, Take me to the air condition. Bye, cutie.
All right, so while he's grabbing our next surprise dog, just a couple of little things I wanted to fill you guys in on, just in case we haven't covered them yet. Every time we do a live, I love to mention our vaccine clinic. It's just a very good resource to the community. You know how expensive things are. Everything seems to be expensive now, so our vaccine clinic tries to keep it as low cost as possible. They offer so much in terms of service. You get all of your monthly preventatives here, so we're talking heartworm, flea and tick. You can get the trios that will cover the 3-in-1. They sell all of that stuff here. You can get a fecal exam done. You can get a heartworm test done. We will put in a microchip. We will do the rabies vaccine. We will even register that with the county shelter for you when that shot is done here. So again, a lot of very good resources that as a whole we try to offer to the community. You have public spay and neuter. With that one, we're so booked just because the public demand is so high for that service. We're doing our best to fill appointments as much as possible. That's my knowledge. I think they may be full through at least the end of August or September. So keep an eye on the website. We always suggest check in the morning. Usually between 8 and 9 a.m. is the sweet spot. If you're checking any time past that, it's going to show you no appointments for months out. So check early in the morning. If you need an animal spay or neuter, we'll do our best to get you in for an appointment there. And another thing I wanted to mention is our walk for the animals. I know we're a little early here, but our date is announced as Saturday, February 1st of next year. That'll be our 35th annual walk for the animals. So if you want to get involved in any way, if you want to come out, just bring your dog, have fun, enjoy the environment and the vendors, or if you wanted to join a pack and help fundraise, those are all options. Visit our website at humanebroward.com for any information regarding that. And now who do we have here? Here we have Lester.
Hi, Lester. Oh my God, he's so silly.
Seems like he knows his name, right? Lester is 2 years old. He's already neutered. And we have him listed as a tribe walking around.
Oh, hi. You're gonna
So of course, unfortunately we can't do DNA here. I would say Walker Hound is definitely pretty accurate with this guy, but I would say a definite mix. He weighs in at 46 pounds. He's currently waiting for you to come in and adopt him and give him his forever home because, like all of them, he certainly deserves it. And there's another one who, just like our dear Nibbles, was adopted from our facility back in 2022. Same year and everything. Unfortunately, the Western community is not that to us because they something with it and are unable to take him with them. Unfortunately, that is something that we see a lot here, a lot of surrenders. For various reasons, so we're constantly working to help these guys find homes. His previous family did tell us that he seems to be afraid of smaller dogs. They said he does fine when with big dogs. For whatever reason, they said that with smaller dogs he becomes a little fearful. That's something we would love to see for ourselves in person, whether it's with a dog meet with the public or if we even conducted an in-house dog meet of our own. That's something we would like to kind of evaluate and see what kind of cost that could be, or if that's even accurate as a whole. He's very, very friendly. He's very active. This is a dog who needs to run. If you're experienced with Walker Hounds or any of these kind of dogs that were bred for hunting, those kind of things, they're working dogs. They need tasks, they need exercise, and they need training. If the dogs are just left outside, not given the proper enrichment, if they're not taught good behaviors at a young age, they can become very rambunctious, they can become a little disruptive in the home. So that's something you kind of want to nip in the bud early on. Training and spending time with these animals and promoting the proper behaviors is really going to be your best friend with any kind of working dog, be it a Husky, be it a Walker Hound, German Shepherd, Malinois. Any of those breeds really need a lot of work, and you have to be prepared to give them the time that they need. They may not be the best starter dogs. If you've never had a pet before and you're looking to start with something easy, I would probably stay away from any of the working dogs. But again, Lester here, he's 2 years old, very lovely, very friendly. He seems to be a little less worried about the heat than Nibbles was. He's fine kind of running around and exploring his environment entirely. He's navigating himself to the trees. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us today. If you think Nibbles or Lester or any of the beautiful cats that we saw earlier, Skunky, who's got a special place in my heart, these little kidney stones. I love the dogs and cats that kind of have the more complex medicals. My animals at home, I try and take the more complicated or special needs animals as I can, and there's plenty of people like that out there. So visit our website, humanebroward.com. Come on into the shelter. We're here every day. My name is Matthew, and thank you for joining us for yet another edition of our weekly tale.